Hi, and welcome to this week in review on Aortic Hope TV. I'm Rob Seltzer, a Survivor member, and I'm here sitting in for this week's version of Week in Review. We'll be talking about all events that happened last week on Aortic Hope and maybe a few other extras. First, I'd like to start with a quick shout out to Karen Anderson, our Survivor member, founder, CEO. Uh, Jack of all trades. Hope you're doing well. She is in the hospital right now, and like many of us end up, and she's having a little work done. So she'll be back with us probably in, we don't know, a couple months. You'll see her again on AHTV. But we're all hoping you're doing well, and we will see you next week. Okay. All right. So we can review. Let's start off with last Monday. We have movement for Monday, movement for movement's sake. We all have that problem. We sit around, we feel tired, we take meds. Sometimes it's just hard to get ourselves motivated to get up off our tuchus and move. And it's really important, right? It's great for healing, it's great for long-term health. We have to keep moving. Did you know that you can lose up to 10% of your muscle mass if you have no movement at all, just sitting around in a bed, okay, a day? So, you know, you want to keep moving. That's the key. Whatever it is you're doing, all right? And that's movement for movement's sake. And we're just checking in. So, and the hardest part is not the workout, right? The hard part is getting started, getting that left foot up, putting it down, put the right foot in front of the left foot, or just put them up and down in front of each other and do a little marching. But the decision to start, it gets your brain thinking about movement and motion, which works everything. All the advantages, right? Gets your brain working, gets your heart pumping, gets your blood flowing, gets your muscles exercising, moving around, all the things that we need. So very, very important. So when you do make that decision to start, that moment between thinking about moving, actually moving, that's when the battle happens, right? Now you've got to actually do it. So we have what's called a 2-minute rule. Tell yourself, I'm doing it. I'm already doing it. Not, well, I should do it. I should move. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later, but I'm moving now. See, I'm moving. I'm talking to you. I'm shaking my arm. I'm pointing at you. That is movement. It's all movement. So I do one, let's do another. All right. Because once you make that decision, you shift your brain from hesitation to action. Action is what it's all about. So stop talking to yourself, stop wishing, stop hoping, stop negotiating, and just go. 2 minutes of movement is all it takes to change your mindset. 2 minutes to tell your body, we're doing this. Don't think about moving. Decide you already are, and let's get moving. Real important. All right. Our next day, our next event, Topic Tuesday. So this one that's near and dear to my heart because I see a food picture, right? And this is obviously all about food. And you know that I am the aortic chef and I'm married to the aortic dietitian. So I see pictures of food and I'm already getting excited here. That looks pretty good. So let's see what they had to say. This is from Harvard Health Publishing. All right. So our Topic Tuesday, you know that we cover a variety of topics every week that are posted by our medical students and interns, residents that are out there that work with us. So let's see what they had to say. When it comes to heart health, prevention, we know that is powerful. What we eat every day can make a lasting difference in protecting our arteries, improving circulation, lowering the risk of coronary disease. Gee, it sounds like movement, huh? For those living with or risk for aortic and other cardiovascular conditions, even small dietary changes can strengthen the body's natural defenses. We talk about this all the time in the Aortic Kitchen. Here are some foods that truly love your heart back. And let's see, oats and whole grains, very top of the list. Most very important, if you follow the Mediterranean lifestyle or the DASH diet, oats and whole grains are very, very important. You can start your morning with oats, quinoa, or whole grain bread. It gives you soluble fiber. All right, there's two types, soluble and insoluble. Soluble is the stuff that actually absorbs water and breaks down and goes into your bloodstream, and that helps lower the LDL or the bad cholesterol. It helps move it out. It absorbs it and moves it out. This fiber binds in your bloodstream and helps the body remove it, keeping your arteries clearer and healthier. Okay. Now, not just for breakfast anymore either. There are certain, you can look at episodes and see cooking with oats. You can use oats to thicken stews and soups and such, and it's absolutely delicious. Use those whole grain steel cut oats. Um, Quinoa, some people may think not for breakfast, but okay, have it for lunch or dinner. You can cook it and just keep it around all the time. And when you buy whole grain bread, make sure it says whole grain or make whole grain bread, because when it says whole wheat is not necessarily whole grain. That's not the same thing. Whole wheat just means it's made from 100% wheat, not 100% of the wheat kernel. Okay, so you want whole grains. We want the grain. We want the endosperm, which is the white part that makes the white flour, and we want the germ in the center. That's the seed, and that's the really, really healthy part. There's the healthy fats that are in there and everything. So oats and whole grains, and play around with them. You ever try oatmeal on the savory side? It doesn't have to be sweet. Mindy has a way of doing it, and she poaches an egg in the center of her oatmeal, and then we put chili crisp on it and seasoning, the spices and such. So it's very savory, delicious. Great way to start your day. A little bit different. Okay. Leafy greens, another great one. Spinach, kale, collards, all those dark green vegetables. They're rich in vitamins, minerals, nitrates. They improve blood vessel function and reduce arterial stiffness. The antioxidants of those greens also help calm inflammation, a key factor in heart disease. Okay. And here's another tip. All those greens that you buy, if you buy fresh whole produce like fresh beets with the greens attached, radishes with the greens attached, all those types of things that come with greens, those are totally edible. All right. So don't throw them away. Don't buy them in the bag. Don't buy the radishes in the bag. Buy whole radishes. Buy whole beets with the greens. Trim those off. Wash them. You can cook those down, or you can put them into salads, things of that nature. Really good. Great ways to work them into your diet. Berries. Who doesn't like berries? Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. They have lots of polyphenols. The blueberries, right? They also have the anthocyanins. That's what makes them blue and purple. They're compounds that help lower blood pressure and improve cholesterol balance, and they're also antioxidants. Plus, of course, they have color and sweetness without added sugar. So throw those in your oatmeal in the morning, or you can throw them in your salad greens as well. Great thing. Blueberries and strawberries in your salads are absolutely delicious, or just have a bowl of fruit and maybe some fresh yogurt, right? Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, and flax seeds. They provide healthy fats, magnesium, and omega 3s. So you can get omega 3s from nuts, not just from oily fish, which we'll talk about. All important for reducing inflammation and supporting normal heart rhythm. It's best to choose unsalted varieties, of course, to keep our sodium levels in check, right? Because we have that no added salt diet. There's plenty of salt, natural salts in the foods that we eat. We don't need to add salt as well. One note about that, flax seeds. If you're going to use flax seeds, in order for them to do their job and to be absorbed and to work properly, they have to be ground. Throwing a handful of whole flax seeds into your bread dough or into your oatmeal or whatever you're doing doesn't do you much good, because then it's a totally insoluble fiber and it just passes right through. Okay, comes out the same way it went in. So flax seeds, you need to grind them up or buy ground flax if you don't have a grinder to do that. You can use a regular, what I call a spice grinder, the mill type coffee grinders with just the blade that goes around. Those are great for that. And here we are, fatty fish, our friends, the salmon, the sardine, trout, and many others are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which can lower your triglycerides, right? There's different types of fats, triglycerides, the ones we don't want, and protect against plaque buildup. So for vegetarians, chia seeds and walnuts are an amazing alternative that offer plant-based omega-3s, and some of those up here as well. There's the walnuts, the flax. Now, the chia is different than the flax. The chia does not have to be dissolved, but it does need to be cooked, okay, in something wet. It need to be soaked and cooked. Otherwise, they won't work too well. So you want to make sure if you're making oatmeal, we add a tablespoon of chia to our oatmeal batch and cook them in there with the oatmeal, add some extra water, and you get all the benefits of chia, which is great stuff. Remember, did anybody have a chia pet when they were younger? Chia, 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 chia. Remember those uh, little clay things, and then you put the chia seeds in them and put water. Same things, by the way. Same exact stuff. So who know we go from chia pets to eating those chia pets. Okay. Olive oil, great product. Try and replace your butter or margarine with extra virgin olive oil, because extra virgin olive oil is really high amount of saturated fats, which are the healthy types of fats, and they have good polyphenols as well for your blood. That can make a big difference, improve your cholesterol ratios, raise your HDLs, lower your LDOs, and reduce coronary disease risk. And you can pretty much replace almost anything, any butter or solid fat with olive oil when you cook. There are ways to look to do that in the pan or in baking. Just take a look. It's a little bit of an adjustment of the amounts, but you can do. In fact, my daughter made an olive oil cake the other day that was amazingly delicious, and it was made with olive oil rather than butter. Okay. Legumes, also known as pulses, beans, lentils, chickpeas. They're rich in fiber. They have lots of protein and potassium, nutrients that support steady blood pressure and healthy cholesterol levels. They're also versatile, making it easy to add them to soup, salads, or grain bowls. We eat them all the time. You really should have those every day in your diet. Have some of this group of beans, lentils, pulses, peas, these grains, and many ways to do them. Say whether they're soups or salads. You like hummus, right? That's made with chickpeas. You can make hummus with any bean, actually. But it's easy and delicious. So preventative medicine, whether it's food or, as we said on Monday, movement, is all about consistency and care. You have to continue. Every heart-healthy meal supports better circulation, steadier blood pressure, long-term vitality. So by fueling your body with nourishing foods, you're not just reducing risk, you're strengthening your heart for the journey ahead. So what they're saying there, a very important part, every heart-healthy meal. So doesn't mean every meal. If you're making that change, and I know it's really difficult for people who are new to aortic disease to change from their normal diet, what was normal, eating anything they want, to a kind of a no added salt and heart healthy diet, takes some time and work. You know, you don't have to just jump in head first and cut everything out all at once. Work your way into it, okay? Do one good heart healthy meal a day at first. Eventually, you can add 2 and then 3, and then you're on the way. And every day or every other day, and then slowly increase until you adapt yourself to that type of eating lifestyle and eating pattern. Because it does take some time. Eventually, and you'll talk to our members, go onto the chat boards in Facebook and such, and you'll hear everybody say, boy, now I can't even stand the taste of salt. If I go out to eat, everything tastes so salty, because your palate does change. So, and it gets used to less salt and less fat in your food. And you'll find that it's fresher and healthier and good for us. All right. So, as long as we're on food, let me do a little ad here. This was on Thursday. We have the Aortic Kitchen. Hey, look at that handsome guy there. And that's his beautiful wife smelling those tomatoes. I'm Rob, the aortic chef, and Mindy, the aortic dietitian. We have our program on twice a month, and last week was another episode or episodes of the Aortic Kitchen. We tried something new. rather than doing a live program that we've done for over 2 years now, believe it or not. We did pre-recorded videos, and I think it worked better. I'm hoping the reviews sound good, so that we ran them each episode. We broke it down into the different recipes that we normally do. So last week it was Let's Talk Potatoes, getting ready for Thanksgiving, and we did 3 different potato recipes, and there's a video for each one. So you only have to tune in for 10 or 12 minutes for the video rather than watching the whole program for 40 or 45 minutes that they've been. So a little bit less time, and you don't have to watch them all at once, or if you do, I'd love it as well. We did 3 great recipes last week. We had Japanese purple sweet potatoes, which are a really dynamite potato. They have all the uses of a regular sweet potato. You can sub them in anywhere you want, but they have those anthocyanins in them, so they have all those antioxidants that are added because they are purple. The skin and the meat, the flesh is purple. We made breakfast pancakes, just like you make on Sunday morning. We made pancakes with the purple sweet potatoes. They are quite delicious, and we made them with blueberry kefir, so we had a double whammy on the anthocyanins with the blueberries and the purple sweet potato. We did a classic old French dish called potatoes boulangères, which is basically roasted potatoes with onions and a little bit of stock. And it used to go underneath a roast, but we did them plain, which is fine, just as a side dish. Simple, easy. I mean, 3 ingredients, literally 3 ingredients, and a little oven time. And you've got an absolutely delicious dish. And the third dish we did was, let's see, oh, that's right, we did gnocchi. We made gnocchi with regular good old russet potatoes, high starch potatoes. And you'll see Mindy in her first attempt ever trying to make, and she succeeded, making gnocchi, making potato gnocchi, which are absolutely delicious. And that's a great intro to gnocchi, because once you learn how to do that, you can make them with anything as well. Any type of potato, other vegetables, ricotta cheese, things of that nature. But tune in, go to AHTV, youtube.com/aortic hope, and you'll see the Aortic Kitchen right there. Next, we had on Saturday, we have our Survivor series, as we try to do every Saturday. So last week was with O'Brien Mills, another great survivor. And you can find that on AHTV as well. So he was there Saturday night. Try and join us. Look for the ads on both Facebook, or go to our YouTube page, or you can go to in fact, right up here on my screen where it says events, you can bring that up and find out when the next one is. So these are great. It's great to hear from other survivors, and what you really find out, one, they can be inspirational, how survivors are continuing on with their lives and many of us doing great things, but also finding out that, you know what, they've experienced the same things that you did as well. So you don't feel alone. Those survivor stories can help you understand that it wasn't just you, and a lot of us have gone through the same things, and we all survive and we continue on. Really, really great, great programs. Now, here's another one. This is in the resources. Um, I want to show you about that. So, aortic disease terminology, because in the chats, in the chat rooms, there's always questions about what is this, what does that mean, or people using the term incorrectly as well. Because we don't always, a lot of this is new to us, and the terminology can be new and complicated, or you start reading those reports online. I know we probably shouldn't do as much, but when we get those reports from our doctor, and we get the CT scan reports and the results, and there's words in there that we just don't understand, or acronyms, this is where you can find out aortic disease terminology. Now, if you can see my mouse, see, under here in resources, okay, you can just click on resources. This is aortichope.org, by the way. This is not the Facebook page, aortichope.org. And just click down. This is where the patient guide is. You can order them for yourselves, show them to your doctor and get them to order some for their patients. They're on YouTube. Here's a list of common medications. All right. All sorts of good things. Post-surgical, pre and post-surgical suggestions. People ask all the time, what should I prepare for? What should I do? What's going to happen? Come here to the resources. Survivor caregiver resources. Talks about aortic bridge and Maimonides Health in New York and rare patient voice. But here's where I sing, come down farther, and here's aortic disease terminology, which is what we'll talk about in a second, and other reading resources, lots of things, okay? So you just want to go to the resources. This is at aortichope.org. So let's look at a few of them. So this is the common terminology. There's a lot here. I am not going to read this whole list because I don't want to make you dizzy, but I'm just going to show you. We're just the A's, B's, C's. It is pages, okay? So there's quite a few things here. Let's go at the top again. Come on, don't get dizzy. I know that's hard to watch. So an aneurysm. What is an aneurysm? It's a significant dilation. Okay, and a lot of people get confused with that, dilations and aneurysms. A dilation is an enlargement of the aorta, okay? And a dilation comes first because typically they talk about once it's the 4 centimeters is about where the docs start calling them aneurysms. Below that, it's a dilation. So it's kind of pre-aneurysm, but all right, there's a difference between the two. If your doctor says them, sometimes they use them interchangeably. Okay, an abdominal aortic aneurysm or a AAA. A lot of people, okay, confuse that, the AAA, and they think that is an ascending aortic aneurysm, and it's not. The AAA is the abdominal, which is very, very common. Okay, and those are the ones that is down in the belly, all right, where you may have that. Then the aortic root, the aneurysm. There's the TAA, the thoracic aortic aneurysm. So that's in your chest. And then we have the ascending thoracic aortic aneurysm. Okay. So that's an ATA, right? Or sometimes a thoracic TAA, thoracic ascending aortic aneurysm, TAAA. And the descending, and that is here coming down, okay, after the heart, after the arch, and it starts where your aorta makes that turn down the candy cane, and there's the descending aorta that goes all the way down into your abdomen and beyond. Okay, the aorta, thoracic aorta, all the terms that you need to know are here. Aortic root, a lot of talk online about the aortic root. So that's where your aorta connects to your heart. That's the base of the ascending aorta as it actually comes out of your heart. All right, and sometimes that is where we have a common spot for aneurysms, and it's very important that that is healthy as well. Stenosis is narrowing. Someone was talking about that online today. I have stenosis. I remember the post, and I'm very, very scared. Well, yep, stenosis is a problem. It's somewhat common as we age, as our arteries do tend to narrow. But that's for your doctor and a discussion with you and your doctor. All these things, they'll tell you what's going on. So, bicuspid aortic valve. So typically, those are the little flaps. Okay, and you typically on your aortic valve you have three flaps. Some people have only 2, and that can become a problem. All right, and if so, it needs to be fixed. CTs, CT angiogram, a CTA, that's with the contrast. We have CTs with a contrast and without. Computed tomography, the gold standard for looking at and measuring aneurysms, the #1 gold standard. So all these things are here. I don't want to, as I said, I'm not going to read it all, and I'm not going to. So it was kind of a slow week, which is good. We need those slow weeks once in a while. And at Aortic Hope, but please be sure to join us. next week for aortic on for the week in review. There's a lot of things going on. It's the end of the month this week, so Wednesday night will be a survivors support group. I think I'll be hosting that one at 7 p.m. on Wednesday evening, and that means that next Tuesday at noon there will be another support group meeting, and we have others as well. You can look those up, by the way, on events. And those are all here. There's the October events. See, there's a support group meeting next week. Tomorrow, we have the aortic artist painting pumpkins. How fun. It is that time of year. And we have bingo Thursday night. Bingo. Make sure you sign up. And then starting next week, next month, here are all your things that are going on. Caregiver Connections, which is their support group on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. We got Qigong with Kevin on Sunday, and then another week in review next week. And with Molly, you'll see her next week, and probably me the week after. We'll be switching back and forth. And then that support group and the Canadians. So look on the event schedule on aortichope.org to see what's going on and what you would like to join and be with us. Okay, very good. So this is Rob Seltzer. Once again, I want to shout out to Karen Anderson. Hopefully you're watching, and you're going to do great. And we're looking forward to having you back. And I want to say thank you for joining us for the week of review today. And I'm Rob Seltzer, a survivor at Aortic Hope, which is run by survivors and volunteers. So we are a 501c3 organization that supports education and other survivors and their families of aortic disease.
Right on. And Molly, Velda, and Christina all say hello. And Velda says, "You're doing a great job, Rob. Thanks."
So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.